Hey, Ash here. Before we get started on this episode of Musochatter, I'd like to say up front, if you like this episode, please follow, please like and subscribe. We're also on Instagram, on Facebook. As the clever references, just check it out. Check us out. So, in this episode of Musochatter, it's a very special episode. I've actually known this person online for a number of years now. We not used to be. I think we're still in yes, no wave music technically. And without further ado, this is that person.
Belum.
Can we do it in English?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. So we're here with. Introduce yourself.
RULLY Shabara, hello.
Hey. So Rully's played for a bunch of a bunch of acts I really respect, like Zoo, and he's played with Wukir a lot, and I think he's best known for Senyawa. Would you agree with that?
Yes, of course.
Right. And you're currently now. What are you doing in Melbourne?
In Melbourne now, I'm with Setabuhan. We play Super Sense tonight at the Art Center.
Right.
And tomorrow I have an extra solo gig.
Right.
And then in the evening there's like a bunch of people playing together.
Oh,
Also in the same festival, yeah.
so it's like a improvisational thing?
Yeah, it's called Super Drone.
Okay, Super Drone.
Yeah.
Wow, okay. So, do you come to Australia often?
Yeah, pretty often. Mainly with Wukir.
Mainly with
Yeah.
Wukir, yeah. So, describe how did you start doing music? Was it always an experimental band, or were you in, how did you start?
No man, I sing like a new metal band before I started with Zoo. You know. But Zoo was my first serious project.
Okay.
Yeah, before any other. Yeah.
Sure.
And then Senyawa comes after that in 2010.
Yeah.
And then with that, it's easy for me to introduce also the Cesar and Obeds. Basically, it's there it's more about the drumming since Setabuhan.
Oh.
So the voice is for it's not the main element of
Right.
the project.
It's the percussion.
It's heavy on percussion.
Makanya namanya Setabuhan ya.
Yeah, Setabuhan is more like that.
Cool.
Yeah.
Okay. So, I guess what most people would know you from is the Red Dead Redemption 2 soundtrack. So, how did that happen?
Gak tahu. Yeah.
To your recollection.
Yeah. I didn't really know what the game was actually.
Okay.
I'm not a gamer
Okay.
at all. So Wukir also not a gamer definitely.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Were you approached? Were you told about the opportunity from a manager or something?
Yeah, the Rockstar Games guys, they contacted our label back then was Morphin Records.
Yeah.
To be involved in making the soundtrack or scoring or something.
Right. So this was probably going to be 2017-ish?
2016.
16, right. Yeah, they do really make it from that far out, I guess. So, personally, I really want to talk to you about the Zoo days. Zoo.
Okay.
I was in Walk's label, Yes No Wave also, with Zoo, and the thing that attracted, that kind of sort of excited me about Yes No Wave was the Zoo release, Prasasti.
Mm-hmm.
What inspired you to make a record where the physical packaging was this stone thing? I'll show it. I'll flash it on the screen for people to understand what it is. But why Prasasti?
You would understand when you follow the following releases by Zoo.
Yeah, right.
You see, so
Yeah.
So it's not about why is it a stone, or something like that. It's more about what is the connection between that release and and the next release and the next release, and
Right,
you
right.
can see why it is a stone.
Right,
Because
right.
it has to be a stone. It has to be a prasasti. It has to be something that signifies a beginning, something like that.
Right.
Yeah.
So, from Zoo, you described you started up Senyawa.
Mm.
Um, why did you feel the need to have like a different project for that sound?
Well, Senyawa started as a purely a collaboration between me and Wukir. So it's not actually my own project.
Right, right.
It's a collaboration, more like a duo, and then it started only as a collaboration. Just the first EP is actually Wukir and I introduced each other musically. Try to know each other musically,
Yeah.
and then we developed the sound after that. But it's just we didn't expect that it will be much more well received.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
So yeah. But that's good because I get to explore a lot with about my voice in
Yeah.
Senyawa, like technically and spiritually. Actually, I learned a lot from Mukir and also from that project, and also from the travel.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then that's why I try to make every project that I do very distinctively. They has to be different from each other.
Right.
But slowly I try to make that more clear. But it's very hard, of course, definitely, because I use voice as the my element.
Right.
Yeah, but then sometimes the difference can come from the theme, or like Zoo is not exploring voice
Yeah.
that much like an as in Senyawa, but it's more about the narration, the theme, the text, the language is more on that, more concept. Yeah. While in Setabuhan is more drum. Is actually what they can do with this project that will make the project survive. How Obed and Cesar keeps uh, exploring how to bring rhythms
Yeah.
to a more contemporary vibe, like right now where people like electronic music or beats, stuff like that, even more and more liked, by
Right.
people. So it's good also to have a project that reflects that what people are into right now. So with
Right.
Setabuhan, I try to be involved in that, not scene like path,
Path. Yeah.
something like that. Okay, I have
I-
Setabuhan, something like
Right.
that.
I do understand.
But so it's the rhythm, but by these two people.
All right.
Yeah.
So, what I'm like on the outside looking in when it comes to experimental music, my kind of background is like, the four chord pop songs, and then you create, you do production or whatever. So, what I'm very curious about when talking to experimental artists such as yourself is, what is the writing process like? Because, like, if you go on Spotify and then you look up Senyawa, there's an album there, there's tracks. How do you go about making a track? Writing it?
It's different for every project.
Yeah.
With Senyawa is improvisation, of course.
Yeah.
And also with Senyawa, with different albums have different kind of approach in the writing process or
Right.
recording process. Some albums we didn't decide on anything. We didn't even decide to make an album. We just arrive at some point where we think, we have got the studio ready, like we got everything ready, just play music and then
Right.
record everything we do in that studio for 2 days or
Yeah.
3 days, something like that, and just whatever that is, we use, and then there's an album of Puncak, after Acaraki, and then there's also some albums like Sujud where we actually come to the studio. I've got the lyrics and we make the song. We record the song and then we try to add until it becomes a full song.
Right.
Something like that. And then where it's thematically solid.
Yeah.
And we also have Acaraki where it's more lyrical. The lyrics are all prepared beforehand, and sometimes the music too.
Yeah.
So so it's very different. Like with Setabuhan is more like is even more simple. They just
Yeah.
decide on a rhythm together, and then just play and record, and we play that one rhythm
Right.
as a song. We don't make changes. We only make colors and
Yeah,
textures,
yeah.
but not changing.
Right.
So it's very clear, the process of how to approach a track or a song.
Okay.
Like, okay, let's make this. And I have We Rock. There's like this guy called We Rock, where I make a collaboration with him. Also, that's just goes to the studio. I let him to read or recite his poems on the spot,
Yeah.
and I just hit the drum. Very
Right.
simple. There's not much writing there. It's
Yeah.
more like play the music. But then sometimes for a more like a serious album like Senyawa's
Yeah.
album, we have to have a talk before with Wukir or what to do with this.
Right.
With the next album. Yeah.
So there's, to me, listening to your explanation, it seems like the writing is kind of sort of baked into the creation process. There's no like separate writing and then we're gonna go to the studio and okay.
So because it's not composing, yeah.
Yeah.
It's not composing. It's more feeling. Yeah, just feel each other, and play in the studio. But it's difficult because technicality problem. Technicality problem means to get the feeling right, you have to be able to record it right.
Yeah.
Like when you watch a show, it's really good. It's fantastic. But when you listen to the recording of that same show, it doesn't feel.
Yeah.
The feeling's gone. Most of the feeling's gone.
Because there's that barrier between the performance. If you're there, it's the performance and your senses. But when you record it, it's the performance and whatever's you recorded in.
Yeah, but also there's just technicality. If you know how to record, you know what mic to use, how to edit it, how to shoot the camera with the right angle to get the best view.
Yeah.
Then you might get the feeling.
You might get
the feeling. That's why some filmmakers are great filmmakers, because they can do that.
Right.
Or some recording engineers,
Yeah. So
are really good at it.
right. Sometimes this is something I really like to ask improvisational artists, like jazz people or whatever. What are you feeling up there on the stage when you're performing?
The best feeling in the world. Yeah, that's that feeling that brought people back, yourself and the audience.
Yeah.
First yourself. That's the drive for me. The drive is that. It's not something else.
Okay.
Nothing is bigger than that. That's the drive. The drive is I want to always. It's an addiction, kind of, not bad in a bad way, but I want to feel that again.
Yeah.
I want to feel that sensation again. It's very like. It's a bit narcissistic in a way, because all artists are narcissistic, to be honest.
I can agree with you on that. Yeah,
but,
for sure.
But that's how it is. It's the drive. You want to make your message across, and you have that opportunity, and most people appreciate it, and you feel okay. It's good.
Do you feel so? I am, again, like a pop artist, I guess, quote unquote. So I'm very conscious about the kind of sort of, when I'm performing on stage, am I singing it right? Am I playing the chords right? Kind of look out and see what the crowd is how the crowd is reacting to me. Do you feel that, or is it, as you say, a completely narcissistic experience?
No,
in a good
no.
way?
We need the audience energy. That's why every venue, every show is different, because a performance have to have certain elements. First is the performer, the musicians or the actor or whatever, the venue or the environment. And the venue and the environment means lighting, sound system, whatever it is, small or big, but you have to have that element of lighting, and then audience. Yeah.
Right.
So the energy sometimes you got a really bad fan, even you have great friends come, but then you cannot hear yourself. There's like trains passing or whatever.
Okay.
For example, you
Yeah,
need
yeah.
also a proper place or space to perform.
Right.
And then you need the audience energy. If you feel the audience doesn't want you there, it's very hard to perform really well. You can, but that's not the ideal, right? You need the collaboration of these three elements.
Yeah.
So that
Of you and the audience.
and the environment.
And the environment.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Speaking to that kind of sort of trinity, I guess, the environment, you, and the audience, what would you say was your best feeling in a show where all those three kind of sort of come and collaborate together in like the best way possible?
What was the
The
best feeling?
No, have you ever had a show like that? Where, when?
A lot of shows like that.
A lot of shows.
And that is what we always aim as a performer. When we play, somehow we make to have this element happen in a way. If you have the audience reaction, it's not so when you feel it, and then the venue is, you have to, then it's your element has to be stronger.
Right.
You have to be stronger as a performer, because the success depends on you now, because the other two elements is weak.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
that's how you do it. You always aim for that three elements to work together, because
Right.
when you do get better in the first song, audience will feel and their energy will be better. And now
Right.
you have two, then there's no problem. You win because only one is weak.
Right.
And imagine if the three have a great energy. It happens a lot of time in a gig.
Right.
It always happens.
That's
in a
so
gig, it always
cool.
happens. That's why there's some festivals. It's always it's a great festival because they have these three.
Right. Okay, so thank you very much for this interview. It's been very enlightening to me, and I hope to my watchers. What do you promote your? Do you have anything coming up after Super Sense or?
Yeah, next month I'm with Senyawa. I think we're going to play in a gallery in Shanghai.
Nice.
Yeah, and then what else? And then there will be a zoo concert, I hope, in the end of the year.
Right.
I hope that happens as well.
Right.
Yeah, there are some small ones. Yeah.
Any recorded output planned or?
Wait and see.
Okay. And on that bombshell, I'd like to thank, that's me. I'd like to thank RULLY for having me in his place, and thanks, I guess, for like hanging out too. And that's the end of this interview. Thank you for watching, guys. So yeah, that was the interview with the great RULLY Shabara Herman of Zoo, of Senyawa, and of Setabuhan today. Just a bit of a primer of this live performance that we're gonna do. It's very experimental. It's actually, it will test what you think is possible with live performance and music. And it has a very patriotic bent. It's very unapologetic that way. Anyway, here's Setabuhan with a live performance of. Jadi bikin Indomie sih gimana caranya sih, Bro? Cooking with RULLY.
Ini aja. Masukin air, rebus, masukin mie, kasih bumbu, makan. Ya kan? Gampang, instan namanya. Kurang nggak airnya aja? Kurang ya?
Enggak.
Hah?
Nanti tambahin aja. Pakai gelas. Yang penting masak dulu.
Indomie
Selera.
Indomie
Selera.
Oh iya tahu.
sama telur. Telur habis ya?
Enggak.
Oh, jadi kayak mau dimasukin ke sini langsung gitu terus diaduk aja. Oke, gitu.
Gini caranya yang bener.
Gimana Rul yang bener?
Ya, kayak gini nih, masukin aja semuanya.
Masukin aja.
Nggak usah banyak, nggak usah basi ya. Masaknya langsung aja. Rot gitu.
Cause usually in Musochatter, usually after the interview kita nunjukin gignya mereka kan. Ini malah nunjukin bikin Indomie. Truly experimental music, guys. Truly.
Udah.
Ada 3, ini baru 2. Ada tuh. Nah,
Coba nanti tahu.
The pouring of the sauce and stuff.
waduh, jatuh tuh, kadang-kadang jatuh gini, nggak apa-apa. Ya kan? Kemasukan laler ya, nggak apa-apa.
Kemasukan what?
Sekarang kita masak makanan, nanti malam kita masak musik.
Yeah.
Ini mau tengah matang mau nggak ini?
Apa?
Tengah matang mau matang?
Matang no.
Itu dicelupain kok kari-kari udah saiki. Kembali.
Telurnya mau diapain ini? Tinggal 3.
Di kopi oh kayak aku ini enggak itu. Tapi lebih ngembang.
Iya, jadi ya, biar digabung aja semuanya.
Mau di bareng ini nih?
Iya.
Bareng ini tuh.
Tenang aja. Seneng aja dewasa kan aku. Kok udah mungkin deh ngomong ayo.
Kalau jalan itu nggak ngerti, kalau itu mendapat kebahagiaan kalau menjahit salah satu dari kalian itu bahagia itu.
Bahagia aku.
Belum itu, belum matang.
Enggak cuma diaduk doang.
Itu pas tuh bagiannya yang bukan malah
Masuk.
Masukin sayurnya nggak ada sekarang?
Ayo nanti aja ke akhir sayur tuh.
Tutup aja Bet, biar cepet.
Boleh madep sini nggak, Pak? Wait. Ya, sekali lagi. 1, 2, siap. Satu lagi. Oke, good.
Nah ini udah boleh masukin nih kayaknya.
Telur aja nih kayaknya. Untuk kita.
kita masukkan telur. Ya.
Dan kita menyaksikannya.
Oh ya.
Waduh.
Hardcore, man. Kalau dimasukin sama dia dong.
Tenang sih.
Waduh.
Soalnya ini baik.
No, this is how a man cracks eggs, man. Okay.
Oke guys.
Guys.
And shake.
Okay.
Shake it.
Gini ya orang kok.
Jadi.
Nih.
Jasa pas di syuting masak langsung dia Bet.
Sorry.
Oh ya nyaman. Bacokan ngono ae perkalake aku. Ini kan berbuat baik di.
Ayo sini.
Belum, sedikit lagi.
Ini setengah matang balik.
Kita tinggal mangan baik.
Baca buatan dulu, Cak.
Oops, sorry.
Kan buatan kalian itu.
Yuk,
Makan.
mari makan.
Nampaknya orang bilang nampaknya.
Aku denger dulu.
Jadi deh. So this concludes the episode. Yeah, this concludes this episode of Musochatter. Bon appetit. Stay clever.
Petit.
Bon appetit. Yeah. Stay clever.